Right, I'm here with Talia, and one thing I know about Talia, the lovely Talia, is that she will always manage to retain a degree of positivity and confidence. But even you might be struggling after what we witnessed today.
I'm definitely struggling, and it definitely, especially being in the room with everybody, the tone went down, the atmosphere went down. It's not how we want to finish the year. Definitely not. There is still some positivity inside me. I can feel it, but it's definitely, yeah. I'm gutted. I'm disappointed. That's the word. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, for me, I've got to say that was comfortably the worst performance of the season for me. Do you see it that way, or?
You know what's interesting, because you said that this felt harder than the West Ham defeat, and I was obviously gutted when we lost against West Ham, but I also kind of went away from that not feeling as defeated as I do today. I mean, it's still a defeat, but this one is more of a real defeat.
I mean, I think for the West Ham game, although we were beaten 2-0, and you might look at that and think, oh, you got beat 2-0 at home by West Ham. But if you look at the actual stats of the game, we had like 30 shots on goal and we'd hit the post, we'd come close a few times. It wasn't a great performance, but at least we dominated large spells of the game and should really have got something out of it. But today we were well beaten, I thought. And what did it for me was, after the West Ham game, we're coming into this game, everyone's saying it's a must-win game, and we were just totally flat today. What do you think?
Yeah, that was the thing. We scored obviously so early on, and it was like, right, okay, we're going to do this now. You could see it. We picked up a little bit, and then it just disappeared. And unfortunately, that's what we've seen in the past, is sometimes that after we score, it can go one of two ways, but it seems to do the latter, which is we seem to kind of start to step back a bit, and the other team starts to come in and dominate. I think something that I saw a lot as well this game is that we were just aimlessly kicking the ball. We were passing it to people that either weren't there or couldn't get there quick enough. And the thing is Fulham were constantly getting those balls that we were passing. And that just happened way too much. It wasn't just in the first half. It was going all the way through the game. And I don't understand why.
Well, you know what? That was going to be my next question to you. What do you put this down to? Like, we just seem to have fallen away the last couple of games, especially today. Is there any one thing you could put it down to? Is it the manager? Is it the players? Is it a bit of both? Is it tiredness? What do you think it is?
I'm not going to put it down to any one thing. I know some people are putting it down to one thing, but I'm not going to put it down to any one thing, because I think it is a mixture. You know, you can't just say it's the manager, because there's still, there's 11 guys out on the field, and every sub that comes on, and I think it's just a mixture, I'm afraid. And I think the thing is when, I left the West Ham game, I kind of said of all the times to have a defeat, maybe this is me putting a positive spin on it, but of all the times to have a defeat, let's have it before the transfer window season, because maybe Arteta will finally sit down and he'll be like, right, what do I need to do? Because obviously we want to keep winning every game. I get that. But if we were constantly winning, he wouldn't sit back and think, okay, who do we need to get for January to think about the next 6 months? Whereas now, and obviously with 2 in a row, obviously not happy about it at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I am, I want 3 points, but if you're going to get those losses, have them right now before the window, because, the window's opening tomorrow. There we go. He's going to have to sit down and he's going to be like, right, what am I going to do here? What is missing? And I think something that I noticed a lot during the game at West Ham, and then obviously the game today, is we can get the ball into the box, but then we can't get it into the net. There's just so many missing gaps and missing people. I mean, they're there, but they're missing at the same time.
Yeah, you very, I like the way you did that. You segued nicely into the next thing I was going to ask you. So the transfer window, as you quite rightly say, is less than 24 hours away. Are there any players out there or any positions out there that you think need to be filled? And by whom?
I think we are definitely all talking about, or not all, but I think definitely looking at the striker position. The thing is, obviously, we want the best from the players we've got, but how long can we keep going where we're still not getting the 100% performances that we're looking at? Obviously, he put Eddie on today, and I was kind of hoping that Eddie would come away with something. And then obviously, even when Jesus came on, it's like, I think what we are missing, and I know we've been saying it as well, is someone right up there at the front, because that is the person that seems to be missing when we have the ball there. I know when we look at the West Ham game, obviously Havertz wasn't playing, and I know you can't all say, oh, just because Havertz wasn't playing, that's who we were missing. But you could see we were missing him in some ways, because we were missing that person that, I know obviously it was a different game today, but he had been up there in the front, getting those balls towards the net at least. And I think that is kind of the positions that we are missing.
Yeah, I think pretty much all Arsenal fans will say openly that we need a striker. Obviously, getting a striker is difficult at the best of times. In January, it's even more. The problem is exacerbated. People are talking about Ivan Toney. Do you think we can get him?
I mean, I'd like him. I think it would work well. I think obviously if we could, it'd be great. I think he's the one that I've mentioned a couple of times would be nice to see.
It would be nice to see.
Yeah.
Whether we can get him or not, who knows? Probably doubtful, to be honest, given Brentford's current run of form. Okay, so you're the queen of positivity. Let's end on a positive note. Give us something to go into 2024 that we can cling on to in the belief that we can at least challenge for the title come May next year.
I just think, we have shown glimmers of hope. We started the season really strong. Just because we've dropped off a little bit here doesn't mean it's going to be the end of the season. Look, I know City have dropped off and might be coming back, and we're different teams, but I don't think that, from what we've been going through the last few weeks, I just don't think that means it's the end for us, because we are a strong team. When we get it together, we get it together well. Our players, when you really look at them, are a fantastic bunch. Obviously, I know it's a very different game today, but they are a fantastic bunch of players in their own way. And I think that, just because it's been a few defeats or, we haven't got all the points we wanted, obviously, like I said, want them 100%. I'm not saying, I'm happy we haven't got them. Of course, would prefer them. But I think that it's kind of it's okay. It's okay at the moment. If we're saying this again in a few months' time, then it's a very different conversation. But we do still have a very long run still to go. And I think that, maybe the break will be good. And, after darkness comes light. There we go.
So without wishing to paraphrase or put words in your mouth, what you're basically saying is don't panic.
Yeah.
There's still room for improvement.
Yeah, 100%. I just think that just don't panic yet. I know everyone's going to probably go, but don't panic yet. There's nothing to panic about yet.